You did not stumble into this moment. You were called into it. The date is not a suggestion. The time is not symbolic. 18th October, 9 p.m. This is a divine appointment, etched in heavenly record long before your birth, and sealed in the architecture of your destiny. The truth you were never meant to carry, the silence that echoed through generations, is stirring. Not in shadows, not in secrets, but in revelation. The spiritual realms are no longer whispering. They are declaring. They are opening. And yes, you were chosen to witness it unfold. From the moment your spirit opened this message, a shift occurred. The vibration of heaven met the ache in your soul, and the two collided into this sacred moment. Do not look away. Do not doubt. There are no coincidences when angels move. What you are hearing is not just words, it is spiritual interception. For days, weeks, even years, your higher self has felt something was hidden. You sensed it in rooms where silence was too loud, in glances that held meaning, in dreams that replayed without ending. And now, your angels are no longer waiting. The secret is rising, and your role in breaking the cycle is why this message found you. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not only as a protector, but as a revealer. A divine sword drawn, ready to pierce the veil. He has waited in patience, honoring your timing, walking beside your wounds, and whispering signs into your atmosphere. You've seen them, haven't you? The moments that made no sense are repeated numbers of familiar names that surfaced when no one was speaking. These weren't coincidences. They were confirmations. A spiritual drumbeat preparing you for this hour. Everything is aligning. The energetic tides around you are turning. The winds of truth are gathering speed. And at 9 p.m., on the 18th of October, something concealed will be brought into light, not to destroy, but to deliver. Not to harm, but to heal. A spiritual convergence is nearing, and with it comes the unraveling of what hath been bound in silence. Your angels say, you are ready now, ready to remember, ready to know, ready to rise. This is not a date to fear, it is a moment to honor. The timeline has already begun to shift the moment your eyes found these words. Stay with me until the end, and by the final breath of this message, you will understand why Archangel Michael chose this exact hour, this exact date, this divine minute to bring light to what once lived in the dark. The time has come. The veil is thinning. The secret will not stay hidden much longer. Type 777 if you're ready to receive the revelation and reclaim your power. The angels are watching. You're not imagining this. That sensation in your chest, that sudden stillness in your breath, that feeling that someone is calling you from beyond the veil, it's real. You are not making it up. Your spirit is recognizing what your mind is still catching up to. I am Archangel Michael, and I come not in metaphor, but in divine clarity. I speak not to your ears, but to the hidden parts of you that have been waiting to be awakened. What is about to unfold is not just a message, it is a holy summons, a sacred interruption, a prophetic window that has opened, and you, beloved, are standing directly in its light. Heaven has marked this hour. The countdown began the moment you felt something in your life shift without explanation. The heaviness, the dreams, the disconnects, the moments when people acted strangely around you, the sudden exhaustion, the hidden conversations, the way you felt something was being left unsaid. These were not illusions. They were the divine prelude to this message. You were not imagining it. The spiritual realm has been calling, and today it answers. This is your divine interruption. This is the moment your angels intercepted the noise of your world to whisper, the truth your soul already knows. You were not summoned to this message by chance. You were not led here through curiosity. You were guided by divine orchestration. Heaven, stop your scroll. Spirit, pause your path. Because the secret that has been quietly threading its way through your family generation after generation is preparing to rise. And it has chosen you as the one to see it, hold it, and break its silence once and for all. This is not about curiosity. This is about spiritual inheritance. There is something your ancestors could not say, something they carried quietly, some in fear, some in shame, some in sorrow. But the hour has come for the silence to be shattered, not with blame but with light, not with rage but with revelation. For the moment you understand what was hidden, you will finally understand what was holding you back. The blessing that was delayed, the clarity that was fog, the peace that kept slipping from your hands. And so I speak to your soul. You were not meant to live in confusion. You were not meant to question your worth. You were not meant to carry weight that was never yours. The false guilt, the inherited shame, the silent secrets passed down through glances, body language, and buried stories, all of that is nearing its end. This is your divine intersection. This is the moment you step into remembrance. Not memory of the mind, but memory of the soul. You are not alone. I stand with you. My sword is drawn. My wings are wrapped around your heart. Every force that has tried to keep this truth buried is being disarmed. I do not come to bring fear. I come to bring freedom. And you, brave soul, are ready. You are more than ready. You are chosen. You are appointed. You are the turning point in your bloodline, the breaker of the pattern, the one who was sent ahead, like a torch in the darkness, to light the way for those who came before you and those who will follow. Listen closely. The energy is already moving. The secret is already shifting. And before this message is done, you will begin to feel it, like a trembling in your intuition, like a warmth rising in your chest, like an ancient knowing awakening in your bones. The sacred countdown has begun. The angels are watching. The veil is thinning. Type 999 if you feel the truth rising, if your spirit is already responding. A revelation is coming, and you are ready to receive it. There has been a presence, subtle, almost invisible, that has walked beside you with a mask of love, but the energy beneath it told a different story. You didn't imagine the discomfort in your spirit. You didn't make up the tension that arose when certain names were spoken or when certain places were mentioned. What you were feeling was not paranoia. It was spiritual discernment trying to alert you. And now, the time has come to name what has long remained unspoken. The interference was real. The sabotage was intentional. And it came wearing the face of family. This is not a message to sow division, but to reveal truth. You must know this. Not all interference looks like attack. Some looks like protection. Some looks like tradition. Some looks like loyalty. But your spirit has known all along something wasn't right. There was a weight that didn't belong to you. An opinion that always pushed against your purpose. A voice, perhaps soft, but persistent, planting seeds of doubt, caution, or delay. And while it may have seemed harmless, it was never innocent. Because beneath the mask was fear. Beneath the concern was control. Beneath the guidance was jealousy cloaked as love. There was someone who knew your light. Even before you did. They recognized your potential not with celebration, but with suspicion. Perhaps they were in your bloodline. Perhaps they were close through marriage, friendship, or spiritual kinship. But their energy knew. If you rose into your fullness, something they held over you would vanish. And so, they slowed your progress. Gently, repeatedly, lovingly, but deliberately. What you thought was confusion was calculation. You were told to wait. You were told to be careful. You were told you were imagining things. But what you were really being told was to stay small, to stay safe, to stay quiet, because your truth would have disrupted a comfortable illusion. You were made to second-guess yourself, to soften your voice, to delay your timing. But no more. I, Archangel Michael, speak now what your angels have been screaming in spirit. You are not the source of the confusion. You are the light that exposes it. This is your moment of divine clarity. You are not under spiritual attack, you are undergoing spiritual unveiling. The saboteur wore the garments of a guide, and that's why the confusion ran so deep. Because they didn't come with a sword, they came with a smile. They didn't deny your calling, they simply suggested you weren't ready. They didn't curse your dreams, they only questioned your timeline. And yet every word planted a delay. Every seed of caution grew into hesitation. Every moment of doubt became a detour from your divine path. But the unmasking has begun. What was hidden is surfacing. What was fogged is now being clarified. Do not mourn the exposure, rejoice in it. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What felt like betrayal is actually your release. And though it may sting, it is sacred. Because now, finally, your energy is no longer being drained by deception. The cords are snapping. The illusion is crumbling. And your spirit is rising. The interference is being named, not so you can fight it, but so you can leave it behind. You don't need to argue with it. You don't need to prove anything to it. Heaven is handling it. Truth is handling it. And the one who tried to slow you is already being met with the consequences of their own choices. This isn't about vengeance. This is about liberation. For you. For your lineage. For every soul that has been dimmed by silence. You were not confused. You were spiritually alert. You were not paranoid. You were prophetically sensitive. And now, your clarity will become your weapon. Not to attack, but to rise. Not to destroy, but to walk away with full awareness, full peace, and full power. Type 444 if this resonates deep in your spirit and you are ready to walk in truth, not illusion. You are seen. You are protected. You are rising. You have seen the signs. You have felt them in the marrow of your spirit. You have tried to dismiss them, to rationalize them, to explain them away. But your soul knew better. And I am here to confirm what you already sensed. These were not coincidences, they were divine communications. Your angels have been speaking. Heaven hath been responding. Spirit has been surrounding you. You have not been alone in this. The signs came first as whispers, then they became echoes, and then they began to press into your reality so specifically, so repeatedly, that it almost frightened you. How could numbers follow you? Why did you keep waking at 3:33 or 4:44? Why did certain names repeat in conversation, in dreams, in places you didn't expect? Why did the light flicker when you asked for guidance, or the butterfly appear at the exact moment your heart cried out in silence? These were not random. These were confirmations. You have seen angel numbers 111, 333, 444, 555 not just as digits but as pulses from the spiritual realm. You've encountered birds that flew too close, cats that stared too long, butterflies that arrived when you were in the middle of doubt. You've held objects that suddenly broke without reason. Mirrors cracked. Lights flickered. Devices glitched. These weren't malfunctions, they were messages. Divine disruptions. Heaven interrupting your atmosphere to catch your attention. To say, look closer. Something is surfacing. Your dreams have been anything but random. You've dreamt of snakes, of water rising, of unfamiliar houses, of doors opening and closing, of fires you could not put out. Some of these dreams have haunted you. Others left you in tears. But each carried a code. Each one, a spiritual bulletin from the higher realms, decoding layers of truth your conscious mind was not yet ready to accept. Those dreams weren't just memory processing, they were ancestral downloads preparing you for this unveiling. Some of you have felt it physically, waves of fatigue when you enter certain homes. Sudden nausea when speaking with specific people. A pressure in your forehead. A buzzing in your ears. Tingling in your palms. Beat behind your neck. Don't dismiss these signals. They are your spiritual nervous system responding to energy vibrations that your soul has learned to read long before your mind ever caught up. You are awakening. You are shifting. You are remembering. And the strange part, you told no one. Or if you did, they told you it was just in your head. But I, Archangel Michael, say this to you now. It was never just in your head. It was in your soul. It was in your lineage. It was encoded in your destiny. The signs were proof that heaven hath been walking with you, guiding you, preparing you. They were never meant to scare you, they were sent to awaken you. These moments were invitations. Invitations to pause, to listen, to align. The lost item that suddenly returned. The feather that landed at your feet. The song that played at the exact moment you thought of so long gone. These were alignments, symbols, girdles of presence, evidence that the spiritual is interwoven with your everyday life, and your awareness has always been the key. I tell you now, every single sign has led to this moment. This unraveling, this revelation. What you felt, saw, and sensed was real. Heaven is not silent, and your spirit is not broken. You are spiritually attuned. And the more you trust the signs, the more clearly you will hear the next divine instruction. You were never without guidance. You were never without protection. The signs are still coming, and with them comes the truth. The secret long hidden is being delivered through symbols, through sensation, through synchronicity. Don't ignore what heaven is shouting through gentle signs. Type 333 if the signs have been speaking to you, if you feel seen, confirmed, and awakened. The veil is lifting, and the angels are still sending messages. The unmasking has already begun. You may not have noticed it fully yet, but pieces of truth have started to drift upward like smoke from a long-extinguished fire. You've seen it in their slip-ups, in their changing stories, in the tension they now carry around you, as if their spirit knows that your eyes are beginning to see clearly. They feel it. They sense it. And though they may try to act the same, something in the spiritual realm has shifted, and they are no longer hidden from heaven's sight. The exposure has started not by your hand, but by divine design. You are not meant to chase this revelation. You are not meant to confront or unravel it by force. No, beloved, heaven is already moving. Truth, once bound by silence, is loosening. His family's secret, long kept under the guise of protection, is now slipping through the cracks of time, leaking through conversations, through dreams, through unexpected admissions and divinely orchestrated moments. Someone may speak in passing and not realize what they've just revealed. A document may resurface. A phone call may come at an odd hour. An accidental text. A wrong word. A moment of divine error that opens a floodgate. This is how heaven moves when it wants the truth to rise quietly, symbolically, perfectly timed. This isn't chaos. This is precision. Divine justice does not roar. It whispers. And yet when it arrives, nothing can hide. The mask is falling, not because you pulled it off, but because the weight of truth has become too heavy for the lie to hold up. The pretenses are crumbling under the pressure of divine light, and those who held the secret feel it pressing against their conscience now, whether they admit it or not. The most important instruction I give you in this moment is this: do not chase the exposure. Do not force it. Do not fight it. Your power is in your stillness, your discernment, your alignment. You are being called to witness, not wage war. You are not in a battle. You are in a revelation. And the truth will reveal itself fully in the same way it has begun, piece by piece, led by divine hand, never by accident. Some will try to maintain the illusion a little longer. Some will feel your energy changing and attempt to reattach themselves to you, to confuse your rising intuition with emotional bait. But do not be distracted. You already know too much in your spirit. You already feel the shift in your bones. Let heaven handle what the ego cannot. Let truth fall where it must. Your role is to remain grounded, aware, and aligned with light. And I must speak clearly now. What is about to be revealed may shock you, but it will not shake you. Because you are no longer the version of yourself that needed lies to feel safe. You are not fragile. You are not helpless. You are a warrior of light, born for this very hour. And what comes to the surface will not destroy you, it will release you. You are not watching destruction. You are witnessing divine order being restored. The structures that were built on silence are cracking, not because of you but because of truth. And truth cannot remain buried forever. Your angels have waited for this moment. I, Archangel Michael, have walked with you for this moment. And now, the heavens lean forward to watch it unfold. What is hidden will be revealed. What was protected will be confronted, not with hate but with light. And once the secret breathes its first breath into the open air, the healing can finally begin. Not just for you but for generations to come. Type 555 if you could feel the mask falling and divine truth rising. You are not afraid of this revelation, you were made for it. Now that the truth is rising, it's time to face what it cost you, not just in time, but in energy, in identity, in destiny. You may not even realize how much was delayed because of this hidden interference. You may have blamed yourself. You may have thought you were the one who was broken, unmotivated, inconsistent. But what you were truly experiencing was spiritual resistance, woven into your timeline by a deception you did not yet have the clarity to see. I am here now to pull that veil back and speak to what was taken from you. There were opportunities that slipped away not because you weren't worthy, but because your energy was being silently drained. There were moments you didn't step into your power because a voice disguised as love or concern made you question your readiness. There were relationships that faltered not because you lacked loyalty, but because unseen forces were stirring chaos around you. The delay was real. The confusion was spiritual. The exhaustion wasn't laziness, it was the fatigue of carrying something that didn't belong to you. I see the nights you questioned your path. I see the hours you spent rebuilding your confidence after it was subtly dismantled by someone who said they were protecting you. I see the tears you couldn't explain, the dreams you kept abandoning, the plans you kept pushing aside, waiting for the right time that never came. And I tell you now, It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your failure. It was interference. It was entanglement. And now it's ending. What was taken from you wasn't stolen permanently, it was only paused. Heaven does not erase what it has ordained. The blessings delayed are blessings preserved. While the world thought you were falling behind, heaven was holding your place. While others advanced with speed, you were being fortified in silence. What looked like delay was actually divine intubation. Your soul wasn't being punished. It was being positioned, protected, prepared. The secret had to surface before the blessing could be fully released, because heaven will not place a crown on a battlefield still active with deception. And now that the truth is rising, so too is your restoration. Everything that felt lost is returning, but it will not return the same. It will return multiplied. The time you thought was wasted is being recalibrated. The energy you lost is being restored. The years the interference consumed are being redeemed. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are right on time, divine time. But you must understand this. The pain was not pointless. It carved something holy in you. It opened a channel within your spirit that no light could ever silence again. The ache, the waiting, the wondering, it refined you. It made your intuition undeniable. It birthed discernment. And now, you no longer guess you know. You no longer hope you see. And what was once vague and veiled is now crystal clear. The people who doubted you will watch you rise. The voices that delayed you will no longer hold weight in your atmosphere. And the self you lost while trying to keep the peace will return to you with greater wisdom, greater clarity, greater power. The version of you that emerges from this truth is unstoppable. The delay didn't break you. It built you. This is the shift. This is the season where everything that was withheld must now come forth. What you sowed in tears, you will reap in power. What you gave and never received, heaven now returns in abundance. You will not leave this revelation empty-handed. You are walking into restoration with angelic momentum behind you. Type 111 if you're ready to reclaim what was delayed and receive the restoration ordained for your soul. The angels are moving. Your blessings are arriving. The breakthrough is not coming. It is already here. It has been quietly building in your spiritual atmosphere, waiting for this exact threshold. And now, something inside you is no longer asking for permission to change, it's demanding it. The pressure, the tears, the sudden clarity, the deep knowing in your gut, these are not emotional waves. They are energetic contractions. You are giving birth to a higher version of yourself. The old you is shedding. The true you is emerging. And nothing, not confusion, not fear, not deception, can stop what heaven has initiated. You may have felt it recently, a moment of peace that made no sense. A stillness in the middle of chaos. A breath that came deeper than usual. That wasn't rest. That was breakthrough. You may have cried for no reason, felt like for the first time in weeks, were awakened with a strange sense of release. That wasn't exhaustion, it was liberation. You are not imagining the shift. You are living in it. Your spirit is standing in the sacred space between what was and what now must be. Do not be surprised if the person who once manipulated you suddenly goes silent. That's not a coincidence, it's a spiritual separation. The interference has lost its grip. The mask has fallen. The cord has been cut. The saboteur may not even know what's happening, but on a soul level, they feel it. They sense your rising vibration, and they know their access to you is ending. And I must tell you, do not chase the silence. Don't seek closure from someone heaven has removed. Don't reopen the wound for the sake of emotional symmetry. What left you in confusion will not return with clarity. What was once sent to delay you will not now be used to advance you. Let the silence speak. Let it teach you that your healing does not require their validation. You are not abandoned. You are being recalibrated. This shift won't be loud. It won't come with applause. It won't look like fireworks. It will be sacred. A quiet clarity. A holy knowing. You'll breathe differently. You'll think with more precision. You'll walk with deeper confidence. Your boundaries will solidify without resentment. Your presence will shift the room, not because you demanded power, but because you reclaimed your energy. This is not ego. This is essence. This is who you've always been, finally freed. The energetic clutter is lifting. The lies are dissolving. The emotional fog is clearing. You will no longer second-guess your discernment. You will no longer carry other people's confusion as if it were your burden. You will no longer dim yourself for fear of confrontation. The divine within you has broken free. You are not the same. And the best part, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to announce your growth. Those who once underestimated you will feel it without a word. Those who manipulated you will encounter a wall of spiritual resistance. You are not who they thought. You are no longer accessible to low vibration. Your frequency has shifted, and heaven has sealed this elevation. You have broken through not by force, but by truth. You have risen not in pride, but in alignment. And now, the air around you has changed. The road ahead is clear, and the angels have already gone before you, preparing the way. Type 888 if you feel the shift inside of you. If the silence no longer scares you but sanctifies you. The breakthrough has come. You are already walking in it. And now listen closely. For just as the energy shifts and the breakthrough takes root, the final test begins to rise from the shadows. This is not punishment, it is prophecy. A soul must be tested at the gates of transformation. And you, beloved, are now standing at that gate. What is approaching may look familiar. It may sound kind. It may wear the tone of remorse. But beneath it is the last attempt of the old energy trying to find its way back in. Do not be fooled. Do not be moved by the soft words or sentimental tones. The saboteur knows something has changed in you. They feel the distance. They sense the power. And now, they may come with apologies, with explanations, with language that mirrors healing but carries no true transformation. They'll say they've changed. They'll say they were misunderstood. They'll ask for just one conversation. But I tell you now, this is the final test before your full liberation. They'll offer peace, but it's poison. Not because they are evil, but because they are still operating from a wounded frequency that will attach to anything that makes them feel safe, even if it costs you your peace. This is not about revenge. This is about recognition. Recognizing that not all closure is holy. Not all reconciliation is restoration. Some doors, when opened, only release more confusion. Some voices, when re-entered, only twist your clarity into doubt again. Remember this, what tries to return does not do so because you need it, it returns because you no longer do. You have become too still for the chaos to remain, too clear for the fog to thrive, too aligned for the manipulation to land. And so, in desperation, the energy will reach out one last time, masked as grace, dressed in kindness, but soaked in the same frequency that once held you hostage. This is the test. Will you respond to the past, or will you rise into the future? Will you explain yourself to those who still cannot see you? Will you dim your light to make others comfortable in their shadows? Or will you hold your silence like a sword sharp, still unshakable? You owe no one a performance. You owe no one your energy simply because they finally noticed your absence. You are not required to reopen your heart to someone who only found clarity when your silence became too loud to ignore. This is where discernment becomes your protection. This is where your silence becomes your sanctuary. The angels are watching now not to test your worth, but to confirm your readiness. You are not in danger. You are not being punished. You are being fortified. This final test is not meant to destroy your peace, but to reveal how far you've come. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer beg for clarity, you carry it. You no longer plead to be understood, you stand rooted in your knowing. You've passed every other stage. You've endured the delay. You've survived the interference. You've received the signs. You've stood through the unmasking. And now, this last flicker of old energy comes not to reclaim you, but to prove that it no longer can. You are ready to walk forward without looking back. You are ready to release without needing closure. You are ready to close the door without ceremony. This is your liberation. Final. Complete. Sacred. Type 000 if you are ready to pass the final test and step fully into your divine authority. No more returns. No more loops. You are free. It is done. The cycle is broken. The mask has fallen. The truth has risen. You have stood in the fire of revelation and emerged untouched, not because you avoided the flames, but because heaven wrapped you in divine protection. This message, this moment, this unveiling, it was never just about a family secret. It was about your soul's return to alignment, your spirit's re-entry into its divine inheritance. What had been hidden has now been seen. What was delayed is now released. And you, beloved, are no longer bound by what once silenced you. This entire journey through confusion, through signs, through betrayal, through silence, it was never random. It was sacred. Each moment was a key. Each delay was a doorway. Each tear was a cleansing. Each silence was a preparation. And now, with spiritual clarity flowing through you, I declare over you with the authority of the heavens, you are no longer under the influence of deception. You are no longer under the power of ancestral pain. You are no longer hidden. You are no longer hindered. You are aligned with heaven's order. You are free from generational manipulation. You are walking in truth and divine identity. You are protected by the armies of light. You are restored by the voice of your angels. Now speak this aloud if you receive it. The energy is cleared. The cycle is broken. The secret is revealed. I walk forward in power, in peace, and in purpose. I am not afraid of truth. I was born to carry it. Let those words settle into your bones. Let them echo through your bloodline. Let them rise through your cells and into the tie line that heaven now redeems in your favor. This is not the end. This is the activation. The prophetic shift has begun. And what comes next will not be shadow, it will be light. Pure. Focused. Radiant. You were always meant to get here. And now that you have, nothing will stop you from becoming all you were designed to be. Type Amen plus 555, 777, or 000 if you receive this restoration, this revelation, and this divine recalibration. Let the angels see it. Let heaven record it. The breakthrough is sealed, and the blessing is unlocked. You have completed this holy message.